Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, August 19, 2021. We won't be having a reverse aging call tomorrow night. The reason is because we're moving again. So that's why. That's the only reason why. So we will have one a week from tomorrow. Transcending any experience of suffering. And how? How do we transcend any experience of suffering? Enlightenment is the moment when the wave realizes that it is water. Enlightenment is not something that can be given to you. Whatever that has been given to you, whatever, can also be taken away from you. We must choose to find this great spiritual liberation within ourselves and learn how to cultivate its presence in our lives, as we are the masters of it all in the end. Our enlightenment is destined to find us in this lifetime or the next. It is on its way. We simply choose or need to get out of the way and understand how to receive it. When our minds stop all searching in the outer for fulfillment, finally comes to relax home in our very core. Realization is discovered that enlightenment was always there, just very deep within our being. We all experience suffering in this life because of one little thing: ignorance. If we take the word ignore and add a little dance to it, we get ignorance. When we ignore the truth of our infinite being, our ignorance expands and soon transfers us into the path of suffering. To transcend our ignorance and find spiritual freedom in our lives again, the intention for a deeper awareness is needed. We must choose to welcome the most profound state of consciousness we can imagine. By simply opening up to our consciousness, we can release anything instantly that would make us suffer. Nothing more than pure awareness is needed to transcend this illusion, rediscover the liberating truth of who we are. Each moment of our lives has the potentiality to become the most liberating, healing, enlightening experience we can handle. The more open, ready, and willing we are to receive something magnificent, the easier and faster the magic comes flooding in. When we are ready for enlightenment, it will find us. We don't have to strive for it. In fact, the harder we work for it, the further it moves away from us. Just choose to make it your priority to totally relax and enjoy your life. Fully surrender to your real self. Explore who you truly are, what you really want, and what your purpose on earth actually is on a spiritual level. The information I'm going to share with everybody is deeply transforming when you apply it daily to your lives. Using these suggestions each day will take you closer to tasting the awesome experience of spiritual enlightenment. This great enlightened experience is a massive shift in our consciousness. So go easy on yourselves. You may have been trying to wake up for a really, really, really long time, possibly lifetimes. And this great awakening can come suddenly like a bolt of lightning in the most unexpected time, place, and way. Life is wild, love is wild, and God is absolutely wild. Those who are wild always reach enlightenment, Osho. To get the most out of what I'm going to share, breathe each one of these as I read them. There are 10 bold messages. Breathe or breath each one into your hearts. Inhale the feeling of information so that it spreads out into every cell in your bodies. Let it sink deep into your beings so that it becomes a way of exploring the world. You can make an affirmation out of it and make firm to yourself that this, or better, is now true for me in this moment of my life. Be open to the new and release your ego's need to be right about anything. Be open to the new and release your ego's need to be right about anything. Being right can be the hardest ego trip to get off of, and yet causes a major amount of suffering. If the ego believes it is wrong about any one little thing, it starts feeling insecure that you basically could be wrong about everything in your entire life. Whatever the mind believes is true always becomes our reality in that moment. The colored lens we perceive our world with today becomes how the world tends to appear for us tomorrow. If everyone around you, from birth to death, says that life is this hard, painful, and unfair experience, and we believe them, then how will we ever learn how to relax, let go, trust, and enjoy living in this amazing universe? If we think we must fight to get what we want in this life, we end up manifesting a very serious, challenging ride. To experience love, enlightenment, and freedom, we must choose to step over our egos and be open to a completely new experience of life in each moment. Our inner and outer world is one massive playground. Learn how to be free and have fun within your lives. Think of each new day as your chance to step on a very interesting and comical life stage. We can choose any hat to wear, lens to see through, or fascinating role we desire to play. Let go of doing and practicing, and practice simply being. Let go of doing and practice simply being. It has become abnormal for people to just relax, sit still, be silent, and alone. Doaholics have become the societal norm. Many people avoid meditation because they think it is boring, don't have time for it, or feel they have failed at it, trying to quiet their mind after a few random attempts. When we realize that all of our suffering, chaos, and illness in this life is caused by our inability to quiet the mind, we will spend more time practicing being present and less invested in doing something, thinking it will take us somewhere better than being here now. Eventually, with enough time spent practicing being present in the now, we discover our real infinite nature inside. We realize we are spiritual beings and have everything we were looking for and so much more. The greatest mystics in history all discovered enlightenment when they were simply being quiet. relaxed, fully in the here and now. When their big awakening happened, they were not trying to do anything. This is the great mystery of this life. And mastery of the mind is by far the greatest achievement that mankind can ever have. The experience of being here now, feeling one with the infinite, all-powerful and omniscient, universal God force is enough. It is empowering and highly enlightening to redefine all those old definitions of what it means to get somewhere special in our lives. Being free from our family's unconscious myths and society's deep ignorant programming. Being free from our family's unconscious myths and society's deep ignorant programming. When we were all children, what was communicated to us about enlightenment? Anything? I mean, anything. Did anybody have a clue what enlightenment was or how to experience an enlightened state of bliss? Did anyone ever show us how to open our chakras, meditate, or communicate with God? Most likely, everyone around us was more or less spiritually lost, and then telling us what they believed would make us happy, loved, and successful in this life. They wanted the best for us, yet ended up communicating to us how to be unhappy and unenlightened through their actions, belief system, and behaviors. If we go back and think about our childhoods, what do we remember was the typical standard story we were told that made us feel like a failure, isolated, unloved, or a sense of separation? What belief system did we inherit from our families that created massive limits on how we felt about ourselves in life today? Now, we may have heard some messages like, you need an education to become somebody. There just isn't enough time for that. We cannot afford that. You cannot be or do or have XYZ. You're just too much of a blah, blah, blah. And naturally, we are all very gullible as children. Yet, if we did not become identified with our family's limiting belief system, we may not be here. We may not be here. From the moment we were born, in other words, the soul entered the body, we all received the idea that this unenlightened state of life was the norm. We may have seen all the insane world problems on the nightly TV news and thought that this was how the entire world operated and mass suffering was just the way things were. As we became teenagers, we either rebelled or became assimilated into the unenlightenment system and fell deeper into the story of separation. The more we accepted or rebelled from our communities, the greater our feelings of lack, isolation, and struggle grew inside. Being surrounded by unenlightened people was an enormous lose-lose situation. To make matters worse, we were forced to attend some jail-like educational system which worked about 3% of our brain's potentiality and was designed to churn once brilliant creative kids through a social formatting grinder, and they became hard workers for the system. We were taught wonderful lies that everyone believed to be true, like how a human life expectancy should only be 75 to 100 years old, and when really our DNA can last at least 300 plus. We were told that we would have to work really hard to have a home, limited energy, resources, food, knowledge, and power. We were never taught to rebel against authority, think freely, independently, or even consider the possibility of becoming spiritually enlightened. The school system made it illegal to teach children how to find a deep interconnection with the infinite source. It was not important to learn how to meditate, heal your body through your breath, how to make tantric love, master your mind through totally quietness and stillness, enjoy all our emotions, know the infinite truth of who we are, or how to achieve absolute inner freedom and bliss. The society all around us is still hypnotizing adults and their children to believe that success is all about achieving a higher level of status, money, and career. Our poor education system is still in its infancy and simply has never had a large dose of enlightenment, so it doesn't know any better. There are many awakened beings in this world today who know the truth, that real success in life is defined by how liberated, spiritually rich, loving, and enlightened we are as human beings. The world is slowly waking up, one person at a time. People are beginning to see that happiness is not something you can attain from striving to achieve the right income, status, career, marriage, or diploma. Striving to reach these things will only distract us from walking our spiritual paths and discover the most rewarding lives and life experience of them all. Remember, whatever limited ideas that we received from our families or our school systems were their limitations, not yours. When you stop and give back those beliefs, you can reclaim your spiritual freedom again within yourselves. The limiting beliefs handed down from our families run deep in our blood, and it will take every ounce of awareness inside of us to see them. Freedom will occur when they are fully seen, felt into, and released from our mental, emotional bodies, as well as our subconscious minds. We must choose to forgive all of these people of their unenlightened programming if we are ever to be fully free. It is all karmic, and nobody is to blame. They simply were not taught by their parents how to live in a constant state of wonder and amazement in their lives while doing daily tasks like changing diapers, cutting the grass, going to work, paying their bills. When we forgive them and see how they were not raised by fully self-realized, self-actualized, enlightened beings, we can easily forgive ourselves for the limiting beliefs and negative feelings about ourselves that we inherited. Be outrageous and stop hiding from your spiritual power in some safe little fishbowl. Be outrageous. Stop hiding from your spiritual power in some safe little fishbowl. We can often hide from our life's missions and spiritual purposes in our minds. Thoughts are safe, while real-life experiences out there seem dangerous, scary, and unsafe. Life is inherently insecure because death is always potentially around the next corner. We might find it easier to not take risks and go for our big dreams in life for fear of getting hurt or lost in the wild ocean. When we only choose to stay safe, comfy, and basically dead inside our little comfortable fishbowls of old habits, we only do the things that once gave us a sense of confidence and security and stop growing completely. Life is this beautiful natural chaos with a divine cosmic structure. Our lives are this daily adventurous roller coaster ride that we need to learn how to enjoy. Life is meant to be fun because we just don't know exactly how things will turn out. We won't know until the last second how we will respond to what someone says or how we'll make the most important decision we need to make. Each experience in our lives is here for our spiritual growth. Each boring, exciting, or normal experience is meant to expand us, help us see and feel the entire ocean around us now. And yes, jump out of our safe little fishbowl and swim in the ocean of existence. It's easy to do, simply stop thinking about your lives and actually start enjoying the one you're living, feeling, and breathing in the now. Embracing and loving every fear that arises. Embracing and loving every fear that arises. The less fear we're holding in the body, the more we can relax and open ourselves up to experiencing a more expansive, enlightened state of consciousness. All fears are simply emotionally contracted thoughts invented by a mind that still believes it is disconnected from the source. It's good to know that the word fear, and we all know this, actually stands for false evidence appearing real. To transcend any fear, we must first choose to discover what we are deeply afraid of. We can access any fear by opening ourselves up to another person intimately in conversation, letting the other peer into you, and soon you will be able to see deeper into yourself and understand exactly what you are running from in your life. Once we know that we are running away from, run towards it and welcome it into your heart and a big embrace. This approach will dissolve any fear instantly, and in time, it will be completely released from our bodies. The more practice we have in embracing our fears, the easier it becomes to find total relaxation, so that we can access our spiritual connection within our consciousness. Stop trying to continuously improve or fix yourself. Choose to stop trying to continuously improve or fix yourself. This may seem contradictory to my previous message, yet it's actually complementary. How often do you find yourself trying to replace your negative thoughts and feelings with positive ones? How much of your life has been spent trying to heal yourself or your mind? Is all the effort and energy you're putting into improving you actually making you relax into the experience that you are already divine, already sacred, deeply lovable, and already connected to the God source? The result from continuously fixing, improving, and healing yourself is perpetuating the feeling of, I am not okay exactly as I am. Any unconscious self-improvement habit is just another egoic dis-ease. The real problem is not what it appears to be. Go to the root of the matter, which is this dualistic mind, and uproot the entire I'm broken and need to be fixed emotional program. Realize that who you are is neither these negative or positive thoughts, yet the consciousness and awareness behind them. Only through pure awareness will you be able to stop the habit of trying to change, fix, and improve yourself, and instead surrender deeply into the spiritual sacred core of your being, where self-realization is. Enjoying the practice of quieting the incessant, chattering, and repetitive mind. Enjoying the practice of quieting the incessant, chattering, and repetitive mind. The mind is a limited conglomeration of ideas and beliefs about who we think we are and what reality is. It behaves much like a computer that is unaware of itself and just spits out information that was programmed into it. The mind is like a machine, so it is not conscious. The mind is a horrible master and a wonderful servant. We need to train the mind so that we can use it instead of being used by it. It cannot remain in the present moment. It must keep moving with ideas that engage the past and the future to remain in control of all of us. When we quiet the mind, we regain control of it. The more we can practice paying attention to the stillness and silence that is behind the chattering mind, the less power the mind has over any of us, and the less we will get trapped and our limited ego or identities. The word ego, E-G-O, is really just an acronym for excluding God's omnipresence. Ego, E-G-O, is really just an acronym for excluding God's omnipresence. Through the constant awareness of our ego, we can bypass the mind and access this omnipresent divine spiritual energy inside of us all. We can discover our natural enlightened state. We become aligned with the bigger truth that we already are infinite spiritual beings. We have been given the gift of a limited physical human expression with illusionary challenges that make us grow. When the mind is quiet, we can enjoy this divine play and find real peace with the entire dynamic. We find full acceptance that we are both the ego and spirit and know all is perfect as it is. Releasing all attachments and aversions to everyone and everything. Releasing all attachments and all aversions to everyone and everything. As humans, we tend to get attached to or avoid certain thoughts and feelings we believe will make us happy or unhappy. We get into habits of resisting this life and trying to control our experiences so that we get what we think will only bring us joy and avoid what makes us unhappy. We even create these patterns based on what others say, feel, and believe, and ignore our own inner voice and connection. This attachment and avoidance habit manifests because deep down we feel disconnected from our spiritual source. We are still trying to find some form of security by controlling our reality. When we were young, we saw others avoiding what is painful and remaining attached to what is pleasurable and believed this is how it should be done. The enlightened state shows up when we listen to our heart and stop being attached to or avoiding anything. When we understand that life is like a pendulum designed to swing and give us both experiences of pain and pleasure, we can transcend them both. By accepting this natural pendulum swing, we become free from being the one who always needs to be in control and running the show. Pain and suffering are just the universe's way of telling us to let go and trust the flow. The purpose of feeling pain is not to create more suffering, yet for us to wake up and create an immediate new life change. This change is necessary for us to evolve and eventually drop all identity with our ego trip so we can return to our spiritual source. By allowing ourselves to let go of our minds, attachments, and aversions, we can genuinely enjoy our lives again. We then start energetically communicating to the universe that we are abundant, thankful, happy, beautiful, and free. This experience allows us to expand in consciousness and deepen our connection to our infinite source inside. Being free from the illusion that we're separate from the infinite source of love, energy, and connection. Being free from the illusion that we are separate from the infinite source of love, energy, and connection. Feeling separate and disconnected from our universe is the unenlightened state. We become enlightened when we are continuously aware how deeply and intimately connected we already are. The illusion of separation is not an accident or a coincidence. The universe is extremely intelligent. Every feeling of separation is needed so that coming spirituality, home, is that much more amazing. The polarization of separation, unification, breeds a truly juicy, alive, and incredible experience of this life. When we become enlightened, we will see the full illusion and know how to stop manifesting another experience of loss, failure, or separation again. The illusion that we are not connected to the divine is karmic. It stems from lifetimes of our mind's attachment and avoidance of limiting ideas of who and what we think we are. Once we untangle ourselves from our fun, sticky, karmic mess, we'll remember that we were always one energy, one sea of consciousness, and always connected with our source. All experiences of suffering simply drop away when we pay closer attention to who we truly are. All suffering comes from a lack of awareness of our divinity. Once we stop forgetting our eternal abundant nature, we begin stepping forward into a life overflowing with synchronicity, ease, grace, love, and knowing our divine unlimited nature. Waking up is as simple and easy as remembering that the sun is always on, always bright, and always shining somewhere. Know that who you truly are is already awake, enlightened, loving, and free. Know that who you truly are is already awake, enlightened, loving, and free. When it comes down to it, we already have everything we need inside us to experience all the love, all the joy, and all the happiness we could ever desire. All efforting to get anywhere better than here is simply divine misguidance. The universe is already amazing. We are already amazing. And this moment is totally amazing. By sitting in awe of this amazingness that is already here now, we wake up to the spiritual immensity of our beings. We suddenly stop playing small and all of our suffering and continuously step into the vastness of our totality. The pathway into enlightenment is a perpetual journey into the now. This wonderful yet treacherous journey involves getting to know ourselves very intimately, gently, and spiritually. When we break free from the hard, cold, calculating mind, we realize we truly are is love itself. We then find out our lives' spiritual mission and sole purpose is to radiate this love everywhere we are. When we know our real nature is the divine itself, we become desireless, selfless, and effortlessly remember how deeply, intimately, and infinitely connected we all already are to the spiritual source inside it all. Nothing is lacking in us. We cannot be improved upon. People who try to improve us are destroying us, and they are the real mischief makers. There are so many improvers in the world. That's why the world is in such a chaos. There are too many people trying to improve us. Don't allow anybody to improve you. You are already the last word. You are not only the Alpha, you are the Omega also. You're whole, complete. You are whole, complete, and perfect. Even if you feel imperfect, that imperfection is perfect. Do not worry about it. It will look strange to others if you say that your imperfection is also perfect and nothing is lacking in you. Yet the fact is that you appear imperfect, not because you are imperfect, but because you are a growing perfection. We think perfection cannot evolve because what we mean by perfection is that which has come to its last growth. This definition of perfection is dead. God is perfect because God lacks nothing. God goes on growing from one perfection to another. The growth continues. God is evolution, not moving from imperfection to perfection, but from perfection to more perfection, to still more perfection. Osho. If you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And it's always the first step, is to relax our bodies. Head to toe, inside and out. You know that you're not the body. Therefore, you can view things about the body and see. You can see the ego mind, the heart mind, the subconscious mind. You can watch the ego mind. You don't judge it, you watch it, you learn how to master it. Remember, the ego mind, both of them are great servants, but they're horrible masters. So by stilling the mind, which means you step out of the mind in the ego, and you relax that body, because the body becomes lighter. When when that body is relaxed, you float. The body floats. It's not thinking. It's not worrying. It's not stressing. It's not fearing. It just is. When that happens, that's the now. And the now is all we have. The now is the breath, our divine positive energy. It's the space between heartbeats. So whenever you are focused on your breathing, your breath, you'll know that you'll be in the now. When you're not, now here's the key. When you're not focused on the breathing, which many of us we don't even know it, that some of us barely breathe, shallow breathing. And you can tell. We all do it. But you can tell when we're not in the now, because we're not focused on our breath. So as the body becomes light and it dumps stress, fear, worry, anxiety, no matter if it's in this lifetime or several lifetimes that you've dragged it into. This beingness, this knowing about our bodies. Because eventually, we will all discover that we can all heal our bodies, keep our bodies relaxed in a state of bliss, head to toe, inside and out. This is part of the journey to that discovery. Some of us, we reminisce, we have memories, it's great, we enjoy it, we all do it. Some of them we use, some of our memories in our subconscious mind library, we'll use those to remind us, okay, I did that before, but it didn't work, so I'm not going to do it that way. And then the other ones we just have fun reminiscing about. It's no different than going to the library, finding a book, and you really get into it. Some of us, though, get into it so much in the past that we stay there. And the past is like an elephant graveyard. It's dank, it's dead, there's just nothing, no movement of air or anything. But we stay there so long that we bring that past into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future, we create that past, we create that future from that past. And we live that past and that future. That's why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up in the same place. Some of us will go into the future. None of us are exempt from it. Dreaming's great. We dream. Dreams are great. Because the dreams come from our hearts. So we dream. It's great. But others will just go in there and they'll just demand and ask and wonder, why don't I have this? And what's going on with this? And why isn't this happening? And how come I haven't met this person? Or why haven't I gotten a promotion? And how come I'm not making more money? And why am I feeling so bad? And what's wrong with my body? See, all of these things. And the future doesn't exist because we create the future in the now. So obviously the now is it. It's the only way to relax the body, to move into the now, and to go inward in the inward journey of meeting the God that you are. Now, how do we stay in the now? I mean, a lot of us people don't even know they're in the now or out of the now. So how do we stay in the now? Those of us who are consciously aware enough to know. And here's the key: always with ourselves, always, no matter what, be gentle, kind, generous, humble, and in deep gratitude 24/7. Now, when these little thoughts come by, these tens of millions of programmed thoughts, and they're like clouds in the sky, and they're just going by, well, we have a tendency to grab onto those. They're not our thoughts. We grab onto them, and we're carried off out of the now. So it's okay. So I know I'm wandering off again. I'm going out somewhere on these thoughts. So I'll focus on my breath. And every time, 3,000% of the time, you'll be in the now. Every single time. It's a great knowledge to have. It's a great understanding. Now, we know that our souls, our God, pure consciousness, enters these bodies and powers the body up. Lungs start operating, then we have breath, oxygen. And we all know that if we did not have the breath, we would not be able to stay in these bodies. We'd have to leave them. So it is divine positive energy. It always focuses us, relaxes us, strengthens us. Divine positive energy, the breath, the now. You can do this every day. You can start practicing to be relaxed all the time. Little bit touchy at first, but as you practice it, because you're in that comfort zone, this is not normal for us to do this. It should be, and then we go, and then it becomes second nature. It's automatic. We are heaven on earth. The soul is the heaven. The body is the earth. Every step we take, we create paradise. And we shine our light 360 degrees, 24/7, everywhere. Everywhere. We're flooding everyone, old life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Our full potential is to be consciously aware that we are the light of God, of the one, of the pure consciousness. We all are. And our intention is to literally shine that love and saturate everything around us 24/7. So if you were to go out in outer space, and we were all out there looking at the planet, we would see this planet glowed so brightly that there would be nothing in the solar system, the galaxy, or the universes to even compare to it. That's the light of the God, the pure consciousness. Now, we look at the body. We can do this any time. We can look at the body. And we notice that in the body there are these little wheels of light, and they're very vibrantly colored, 7 different colors, geometrical shapes. And so what are they? From the tailbone to the top of the head. They're energy vortexes, so we, the gods, can flow through the body effortlessly. And we flow through all the organs, all the blood, everything. Why do you think we have the power, just not consciously aware of it, to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye? So to know that these energy vortexes, these chakras, are the conduits for the gods that we are in the body, to know the body. There isn't anything that the gods that we are do not know about these bodies. Every minute functioning So that means that we flow through it effortlessly. Now, the body, the ego mind, will try to stop the God flow. We'll try to stop it. So if you look at the red wheel of light, which is the root chakra, it's at the tailbone. And this isn't something you can pick up and throw around. It's etheric, spiritual, as the gods we are. So when you look at the root chakra, the red wheel of light, this is our survival, money, food, clothing, water, shelter. And it's a proven fact that when you get a group of people together, and they're in the wilderness, and they really have to rely on each other to survive, those who panic leave the body. Fear blocks our survival. And then we go to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra. This deals with our pleasure, our bliss, our happiness, our joy. And it's blocked by guilt. And we've all been there more than once, where we're just absolutely kicking it. It's wonderful. Wonderful things happening. Things just really moving into place effortlessly. We're in a state of bliss. But it's usually inevitability is that the ego mind kicks in, and it reminds us that we don't deserve to be this happy all the time. We don't deserve. And so it's going to end. So enjoy it while you can. And so what we do is we end it. So that's what guilt is. Illusion. Then we move to the yellow wheel of light, the solar plexus chakra. This is our willpower. Your intent, you're determined, and you say, okay, I'm going to do this, and you do it. But then when shame comes in, it stops you. Shame is another illusion because we don't know who and what we are. Then the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, this is our ability to love. And then another illusion comes in, grief, and it blocks our love. And then we go to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra. This is our truth, it's our vocal cords, our voicing, and it's blocked by lies. Then the indigo wheel of light, third eye chakra. This deals with our insight, intuition, knowing, and it is blocked by illusion. And then the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light, this deals with our direct connection to the divine. All that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And it's blocked by ego attachment. We're like a perpetual energy fountain. We flow through these chakras, and we perpetually flow our energy up and around, back around. It's just constant. Okay? It looks like a vortex, a never-ending spiral. And so we park ourselves at the top of the head at the crown chakra, and we hold that energy for just a few seconds. We are one. We are love. We are God. And then we release that which we are, the energy, the God source that we are, over the pineal gland. The pineal gland are very important to us in these physical forms because when they're happy, healthy, and fully functioning and vibrant, they connect us to all the particles of existence, all the planes of existence, all the realms, everything, all the dimensions, everything. So you view the pineal gland any way you choose through your heart, mind's motion picture. And it can be anything. I see it as a green ball, rosebud. So when I pour myself, as the God that I am, over the pineal gland, it immediately transforms in this massive rose, fully bloomed, with multicolored petals and a phenomenal fragrance. And it showers me with these particles of energy. And it's so deep, and the feeling of the highest, of deepest eternal love, gratitude and peace are not even describable. And then I discover that this energy, this shower of energies and these feelings are the God that I am in this body. And the rose is the reflection of the God that I am. The God that I am is the rose is the God that I am. Now, all of us have parts of ourselves that are not awake. Doesn't mean we leave them. We can't leave them. They're with us always, forever. But they're asleep. So we reach out to the parts of us that are consciously aware to a certain extent, such as all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And that includes all of those on this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya. This includes the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. It includes the Ascended Master, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, and all of them. It also includes the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, and beneath Earth. It includes all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. It includes all the off-worlders, galactics, celestials, and all of them, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming of this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. And all the light energy beings, which includes all of these parts of ourselves, only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this meditation. So in the Gugaplexes, the numbers are astronomical. One Gugaplex fills this universe with not even a sacred inch of space to spare. And they're all with us now, consciously. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We all gathered in this meditation, consciously aware, form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us gathered here in this meditation. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns even to come close to its brightness. And this brightness is pure, deep, eternal love. And we are flooding this planet, saturating it head to toe, inside and out, with the love that we are. The God, the pure consciousness, 24/7. Feel that through your heart minds and see it through your heart minds motion picture. Embrace it. It's absolutely magnificent. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It is flashes of lights, multicolored, vibrant, in numbers that can't be counted, just literally reflecting off of us, going through us, around us, under us, and beneath us, on top of us. And we discovered that the reflective points, we zero in on them, are these little microscopic, little perfectly etched mirrors that we enter, and we discovered that all of us, gathered right now in this meditation, are teaching each other and learning from each other constantly. Not just this planet, but everywhere. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We're then met with the purple, blue, violet flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind ourselves that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected 24/7 throughout eternity, infinity. No demon possessions, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no mumbo jumbo. Nothing can harm us. Nothing. Nothing. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, through hatred, greed, anger, envy, hurry, stress, fear, worry, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, we're immediately met with a double column of light. The purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute it into all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. The violet ray is right behind this. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain, the rainbows, the sky, the clouds. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the sunrises, the sunsets. We are the soils. We are the trees and the forests, the mountains, the ocean fronts. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you see a sunset or a sunrise, a rainbow, it is you. It is all of us. The God's within us. We're the divinity, the beauty, the grandeur, the majesty, the wonderfulness, the awesomeness. We continue to ascend above the planet. We come in full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it. It's larger than the solar system. In the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere with a golden white yellow bowl of light in the center, surrounded by rings, multicolored rings, endlessly, all sending their electric energy, this mist, this cloud of beautiful energy, enrobing, saturating, flooding us all. And the first, the golden white bowl of light, is the highest of the deepest, 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 purest eternal love. And then comes gratitude. And then comes peace. And then comes well-being, generosity, humbleness, gentleness, kindness, joy, bliss, gratitude, wealth, great abundance, great prosperity, tranquility, benevolence. All of that is a reflection of all of us and the gods within us. We designed the top so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, flooding this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now, all of us are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Some of us, as we continue to ascend, step outside our physical form, float effortlessly above the body if we're carrying physical form. And the reason we do is because we can. We see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. We created this sphere over 3.5 years ago. It holds over 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All of us in the numbers, in Googleplexes, consciously aware, in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, with the highest of intent, of the deepest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace, and flooding this planet, liberating this planet, lifting all those who are consciously aware into higher and higher vibrational frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is why it continues to intensify, and this is why it continues to expand. We think perfection cannot evolve because what we mean by perfection is that which has come to its last growth. This definition of perfection is dead. God is perfect because God lacks nothing. God goes on growing from one perfection to another. The growth continues. God is evolution, not moving from imperfection to perfection, but from perfection to more perfection, to still more perfection. I'll join you in the meditation. Return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. It is said that if you are pure, if you are silent, you reach heaven. The truth is just the opposite. If you are pure, if you are silent, heaven reaches you. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. We will return here, 3 p.m. Eastern, Friday, August 20th, 2021, to continue our Global Guided Meditation Call.